What is going on, guys? We are back with another video, and we're here with the race car GT500. If you guys are new here, this is an 07 GT500 that we put a Coyote in. Ran all of last year on a stock motor with a 76mm Garrett, and we achieved our goal of 890 with a stock motor. We put a built motor in it, and well, we realized we were running the turbo pretty much maxed out all year long on the stock motor. Now we have a 98mm turbo going in this thing for Mod Nationals. If you guys don't know, Mod Nationals is coming up next Friday. I think I'm gonna post this video today. So next Thursday through Sunday. Definitely come out. There's a car show there. There's racing going on there. We're obviously running the stick shift driver mod, 850 index. So hence why we need some more power to get this thing down, hopefully into the mid 8s. We dynoed this car. It made about 1095 and it came up and right down. I think we were out of turbo. We're seeing some high IATs. So we're gonna put this 98mm on and see what happens. Now, the old Garrett has been pretty reliable. No major issues other than some high IATs. And I mean, we were pushing this thing to the limit. At 30 pounds of boost, it made no more power than it did at 22 to 24 pounds. We're just out of turbo. Now, we have a 98mm BL Fab. It's a large frame. This thing is huge. It is about the same physical size as this, like in terms of footprint, but this thing packs a punch. So we're gonna be throwing this on and dynoing it today. My goal is to make somewhere in the neighborhood of 1300 wheel, and that's about what I guesstimate, which will get this car into that mid to low 8 range. We have 1650cc injectors, which are a little bit undersized for what that turbo can do turned up, but for around 1300, we should be more than fine to make that. So let's go ahead and get started on the turbo swap. It's also black too, which is cool. So now I want to go ahead and make that pipe black, but you know, we'll do what we can in time for the race. Just lifting weights here. Oh God, my back. All right, so we got the old turbo off. We did find that the new turbo is bigger, especially on the back housing. And it was hitting the thermostat housing, so we loosened up our V-band there and down there and kind of shifted it a little bit, and I think it's gonna fit. I think. I hope. Yeah.
But I don't know if I would say we loosened up that one. We more so
well, that one broke, so you know we had to rob.
Not loose.
Yeah, we had to rob Turdzilla's turbo kit. Yeah. Oh, I haven't even mentioned that.
Ready?
Yeah. We are back with Cody's GT500 strapped down to the dyno, Mod Nationals prep. We are also working on the black GT500 as well, getting it ready for Mod Nats. But we got it back over here. We got some changes going on, and we're going to test some theories, test some parts out. So we previously made about 930, 940. We can check back and see exactly what it was. Car trapped 150 miles an hour with a 2.6 upper pulley, not the 2.4. And we're going to dyno it, see what happens. Previously went 950 with the car. It's got a good 930, 920 in it, the way it was. And we're gonna try to optimize this. Pack some fresh old ice in this rig. See what happens. All right, what do we got? 898, 891 with the 2.5 upper?
2.5, 10%.
So, and we went 150 with the 2.6, which was this 884. Yeah. So, and we have made as much as 23. So we've made as much as 932. However, on track, this went slower. And you see this down tick right there. And we're hoping that that was belt slip and not the engine and blower running out of efficiency.
Yeah, we were using a really old 84-inch belt, and it clocked the tensioner all the way maxed out. So like when I say maxed out, not like all the way down to where it's tightening the belt, it was maxed out to where it was almost all the way at top clock. So now that we have a proper belt size, I mean, obviously, as you've seen, if you look at that passenger seat, we've tested a lot of belts.
Belts on deck,
to get
dude.
the proper clock on the belt, so it's actually, the belt stretches. As RPM climbs, the belt stretches. So you watch your tensioner clock like this. Well, if the tensioner is already fully walked out, it has nowhere to run, so the belt's just slipping at that RPM. So if you watch, the graph just goes like this, and we weren't sure if it was because of a camera-related issue or if it was obviously just not making boost at that territory. And the data log's funky because it's measuring manifold air pressure, obviously, so it'll tell you it's got boost in the manifold, but is the blower still actually making steam at that RPM? It's something we just don't really know, so it's just trying actual data to see if it's making power at that RPM, and we clearly are now. So
yeah, so let's put the 2.4 on and see if we slip back into that 9-something range.
Yeah, I mean, and the biggest thing is this car's got a 373 gear, which is different than any of the other previous gear options we had in the last GT500s. So we need RPM because we go through the trap at like 150 to 155. We're damn near on the limiter at 7,000. So we need RPM. So if the car's not making power in that RPM, it's not doing us any justice. So
yes, sir. All right, so 2.4 on. Gonna make a lick. See what it does.
Dude, turbo is on. Thing is so big, she don't even spin at idle. Gonna get ready for the first lick. About to get rowdy up in here. What in the hell? What we got?
953.
That was on the 10 pounds of dome?
Yeah.
how much?
953.
How much boost? How much boost?
Not a lot.
I'll go well over there.
All right, what we got?
1019. Oh, I'm happy now. That boost control, I had to change a few things, but we just did 1137, 1005 on like 22 pounds.
That's spicy, dude.
I mean, we already made 1212, but that was an accident.
Right. Dang. So, what's the plan?
Definitely got to check the fuel level now.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea.
I'm going to take a look at this log and just let her eat on boost and call it a day.
Nice. Are we
hearing the news? Yeah.
Grapple way better.
Much better.
Good.
All right, so the last run was a little spicy. We kind of ran out of injector very much at the very end.
1206, 1063. I think that's more than good enough to go 850s. We've been racing on this car and it goes 160 with about 1050 horsepower. So we got another 150 on tap, and we're probably just an injector change away from going 1300. So I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy to see the curve. If you guys want to check this out, actually. So, can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so see this blue line? This is where that 76 millimeter was pretty happy at 1,008 horsepower. Now we can make 1,091, but it runs out of steam right there at 6,000. So I imagine this thing's gonna pick up a lot, because if you look here, while the 98 takes a little bit to spool, and that's really just load base, but it takes a while to spool. So we got all this power though right here, which is also gonna be down there too. But there's a drastic difference. And then out here, I mean, this thing didn't make any power at that boost level, that 1,091. So realistically, we were about 1,008 horsepower to go 160 track, which is pretty cool.
All right, guys, so yesterday was a bit of a rush on the dyno, kind of getting the car ready, turbo, everything swapped over. Well, that final pull, we actually made 1206 wheel, 1,000-something pound-feet of torque. Really, really good, but we are bumping into the limit of our injectors a little bit sooner than I had expected, but 1,200 wheels should be more than good enough. So the car's actually fully cooled down. We didn't give it a lot of cool down time. What I'm gonna do right now is turn it down just a hair from that 1206 it just made, and see if we can make a nice, I don't know, high 11-ish pull with some reasonable duty cycle in the injectors. All right, so I did kind of expect this. I turned it down a little bit and it actually made more power. It's cooler. I ran pretty much back to back to back before. Climb in here. We got 1238, 1107. I'm gonna have to check that log and make sure the fuel was good. But that was about high 20s for boost. 1238, 1107. That is pretty rowdy. There's the previous poll. So yeah, let's go take a look at this log and see what it looks like. The last one looked definitely a lot smoother, but I did make some changes in the boost curve. I'm using boost RPM on the dyno because we have a problem with an early peak only on the dyno. It never does it on track. So yeah, let's go take a look at the log. All right, guys, so here we're looking at an old run with the 76 mil turbo, starting out at 84 degrees, and this is a 23 PSI pull. We made 1,095, I guess. We ended the run at 193 on IAT, which is, it's pretty hot. It's very, very hot. Let's go check out the 98 mil turbo. All right, so check it out. We start the run out at 77 degrees, so very, very similar. The CTS is actually hotter on this run, but that's okay. We're fully up to operating temperature. And we are ending the run at 151. However, there is a massive difference in boost. We're making 32 pounds or 30 pounds versus the 23 PSI before. So this turbo is doing much better. We're 50 degrees lower temps, same intercooler, same dyno fan, same everything, same fuel, same everything. So we are significantly down. Now I was running into a little bit of injector run out, but you can see we're riding a line of right about 90% injector duty cycle. When we get close to the limiter, the injector duty cycle spikes to 127. My guess is that it's hitting the limiter and it's kind of just like overcompensating there. That's what I'm assuming. We're gonna take it a little bit easy the first time out. Load can get much higher on the track. We really need a new set of injectors, so like some 2200s or larger to get this car, you know, into that 1300 horsepower range. But I did go ahead and pull boost out, and you can actually see that right here. So see the previous run, we actually made more power there. I pulled the boost out right in this section, right where it was kind of running out of fuel up top. And you can kind of see that. It happened to make more power down low, I think just because it was literally cooler than this previous run. But we got 1238, 1107. There is so much more left in this turbo. I mean, we can probably spin this thing to 40 pounds of boost. But for now, we're gonna roll with this. We're gonna do the injector change and try to run Monats and hopefully get that 850 dialed in. Still got a lot more work to go. All right, guys, so I guess the only other thing to check is gonna be how fast can we get this thing to school? So let's go to the outside camera, I guess. All right, so this is what we got. We got full boost basically in about 2.4 seconds, I believe. From the second I go walk, which is right here, comes up, rides, hits the timing retard, and this is boost right here. So we built 9 pounds pretty much near instantly for a 98 mil. Could we make this faster? Possibly. My eardrums kind of hurt, so we might play with this more at the track. We also don't know exactly what boost is going to make this turbo kind of get out of the hole and stay in boost, so we're definitely going to have to play with a few things. But this is a good start. You can see boost 9.3 psi. It's pretty solid, and yeah. So I think we're done here on the dyno. I think we now need to go get into some other things to get the car ready. All right, guys, so at FL2K, you saw we lost the wheel speed sensor. I think the sensor originally went out. Now, we bought a replacement at Motion Raceworks, but we didn't have the right wiring diagram, I guess, because it's an older sensor they didn't offer anymore. I just rewired it again, and I actually just got it to work. So I have it on a pretty sensitive, this is not calibrated correctly, but if you come take a look here, so see front wheel speed sensor, I'm just gonna turn it by my foot. I don't have it calibrated because I want it to be super sensitive so I could tell if it was working. So basically, as soon as I start moving that, we have mile an hour. So that's pretty awesome. I am happy that we have that back. That's how we control the boost controller. I'm gonna make sure that this is nice and stable, close up all this wiring, and hopefully we'll have our boost controller by speed back up and running again. All right, guys, so we are hooking up a hydro for hopefully better staging. So we are adding the dual caliper back. Luckily, this car already had dual calipers, so we're adding that back and adding the hydro in. So it's fairly easy install. All right, guys, so it's been a productive day. Down here, we actually got a new slipper setup. Tamer, whatever you want to call it. This one's made by Garrett Leash at Second Shift Racing. So there's an adjustment knob right here, and if you see down here, we actually have a nice little rod with a shock absorber, basically. See if we can get you a shot in there. Yeah, you can see right there. So when I go ahead and engage the button, I'll show you where the button is. It engages the slider. I can release the button, and it slips. This right here adjusts basically the bite point, how fast it gets to that bite point. And then you can also remove down here, there's a little adjustment knob. You can make this hit faster or slower. So this is part of my new basically setup to try to get this thing better reaction time, better 60 foot. I really want to get down into racing. I have this all torn apart because obviously I was getting access there, but I put my button right here. So the cool thing is, check this out. Clutch works like normal, but when we go ahead and engage this, now it engages the rod. So you can just sidestep the clutch and it slips it out of the hole. Why would we do this? Well, this is so that we can go ahead and focus on that reaction time and 60 foot and get this thing even more consistent as a stick shift. You guys know we did the faceplated trans, so we actually don't even use the clutch past the 60 foot. So basically we're gonna pull in the line. I also have another addition coming here down to my stuff over here. We're adding in a hydro, which is gonna go possibly somewhere like right there. We're gonna figure that out. I might have to move that button, but we're gonna put a hydro in. So yeah, we might even move that button. So I was thinking about putting it over there, but that kind of seems like a little bit far of a reach. So we're gonna figure out where this is going. But the basic idea is to have this hydro right there. So we're gonna pull into pre-stage, right? Pull into pre-stage, click this button, get that locked in, get on the two-step, so ba 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 ba, and then, you know, we're holding this, and I'm gonna release the clutch a little bit and pull the hydro, slam in, second bulb, drop the clutch. It's gonna take a little bit of getting used to this whole process. We're hoping Thursday is a good test session before Mod Nats. So that way I can get used to the feet dance. Every time you change your starting procedure, it's gonna get a little complicated. And we might even move the button. We can move it really anywhere, depending on where the hydro ends up getting sat. But, because it might even go, we're gonna see. I ordered a bracket, but bracket's taking a while to get here. But yeah, so the idea is this thing is gonna be somewhere there. So I can, something like that. That's the idea. And then this works good. Switch to the stock Magnum shifter. Very excited about that. We had a MGW in here with a really tall stick. I didn't like it at all. So right back to that stock Magnum shifter. It's fantastic. I love it. So yeah. Well, finally got a haircut. That was needing to get done for a while. But the car is getting on its way to be ready for Mod Motor Nationals. That is starting this Thursday's test session, Friday, Saturday, qualifying, Sunday, eliminations. We're gonna be running the driver mod 850 class. We also got the dual caliper on. So we got a little bit more work to do on the car, but we made incredible power, 1237. We're basically an injector change away from making 1400, which is awesome. The Texas Speed engine is working out great. So really, we've made a lot of improvements to the car. FL2K, we did pretty well, you know, and we also got pretty lucky with everything that happened there. But we got the front wheel speed sensor. We got everything kind of ready to rock. But yeah, Texas Speed motor working out great. No problems. Oil pressure's great. So we're going into Mod Motor Nationals and we're swinging. We're gonna see what we can do for that 850. And then after that, I mean, 7s are the goal, and I don't see it too far off. So as long as we get the injector in there and the power and the 60 foot, you know, once we got the car 60 foot in like a 1.2, 1400 wheel, like a rocket out to a 780, 790. It's really no big deal. So once we get that short track, power, that's the easy part. Obviously, you know, we can make the power. If you guys like the video, hit the like button down below, leave a comment. It helps get this video out to more people. And we will see you guys at Mod Nationals.